All right, I'm going to go ahead and press record on this, and we'll jump back in. Okay, so going back to our positive affirmations, you know, put those things in front of you that you want to constantly say to yourself. You know, oh, hold on, I gotta tell her same information. Julia's like, how do I get back in? Same info. It'll be the same. I'm gonna say, now you're good. Okay, so anyways, positive affirmations. When you are constant, if you guys have not taken the time to read or listen to the Miracle Morning, it's phenomenal. It talks about taking like the first 30 minutes of your day and setting a routine so you can set yourself up for success. But one of the things he talks about is how, you know, those positive affirmations on, you know, I am successful with my business. People do want to have parties with me. I am great at my job. You know, whatever it is that you need to keep telling yourself, put it on the mirror. Put sticky notes all over the place so that way when you're like, I'm awesome. Not that you want to have a God complex, but that, you know, it helps you build that esteem that you need for yourself. Okay. So there are about 50,000 consultants with Pampered Chef right now. So you are one of 50,000 consultants. I know that's a big number, right? But actually, out of that, there's only about 16 to 1,800 that are at the director level. So it is a very elite status to get to because it's not something that everybody wants. So, but you know, can you imagine if we had 3, 4, or even 5,000 directors in this company, how many more people we'd have with Pampered Chef to share our name and our brand? Like, that's huge. If we doubled or even tripled that, Pampered Chef would have to, you know, send us on cooler trips because there's a lot more of us earning them. Just saying. Not that I don't mind partying with the same people, that's fine. But, you know, being an upper level team helps us to share our products with more people, to share our business with more people, which means that we're going to be able to have more families around the table that are enjoying that shared meal time. That brings us back to Doris Christopher's mission. You know, the more people we can talk to, and those of you who have been in the business for a while, you know of Michael Reeves. If you don't know who he is, I encourage you to YouTube him. He is phenomenal. He has always got some great words for encouragement. He went through a huge trauma over the last year and has still done really great with his business in spite of it. He is like an example of what it is to be an amazing leader with the business. But he has, he was talking about today, because I was listening to one of his trainings, because I continue to still be a student of this business. I do not know everything. It's good when you can listen to other people. But he was saying that, you know, people aren't looking for these big gourmet meals. They're not looking for, like, they just don't want to buy your product and have it sit in a box. Our job is to help them to come alive in the kitchen again, to help them figure out how to do 30-minute meals. That's all they have time for. You know, so how can we do that? That's what we want, is we want more families gathering around the table for dinner, on top of not having to pay full price for it. You know, most people are spending too much money going out to eat because they think that they're too busy to cook. Our job is to help them see that they can cook timely, healthy, and save themselves some money. And also, of course, to help them, help us to reach some more of our goals as well while they're doing that. So here are our requirements. Now, when I was in the LEAD program, these are similar to the requirements that I had every single month. The difference is that I had to hold at least 8 shows, and they all had to be submitted. And I had to sign 2 consultants a month, or I would take a pass, and they only give you 3 passes and you're out. But that was when it was 5 months long. So if you're hitting both or you're taking 2 passes. I'm not that strict, but this is what I do want you guys to be doing. I want you to work on getting 8 shows booked on your calendar every month. Those, I would prefer them to be cooking shows, because that's where you're going to be able to talk and meet the people to do the recruiting interviews with. But if they have to be virtual or catalog, make sure you're following up with each order and thanking them and offering them a full service checkout over the phone, so you can still have that kind of one-on-one time, with the intent to hold at least 6 shows a month. Okay. So if you have 8 shows booked and 2 cancellations, that's okay. You know, I don't want you to think, oh my gosh, I had 2 cancellations. You're still in. You can still do this. I want you guys to be able to participate live on all of our 6 calls and give them your full attention. If you have a conflict for whatever reason, an emergency, a life situation, I get that. These will be recorded, and I will post the replay tonight. So I will usually do it the night we finish or the next morning. So if you couldn't attend live, I want you to watch the replay so that way you can get your call to action and be able to kind of know what we're working on. And then also complete your 90-day tracker as your shows are held. So that list, that little paper should go with you to all your shows. Keep it in your car, keep it next to your computer, wherever you're closing your show out. Keep it there so you can track all your numbers. And then I want you to commit to talking to me after every show. People always say you're so busy, you don't have time. I am never too busy to help you. Okay, so don't think that, oh, I can't call Christina, she's blah, blah, blah. No, it doesn't take that long. Our show-based coaching will take like 10 minutes tops, just so I can talk about how the show went, what went well, what you do better next time, who you met. You know, it's very quick. And then as we do those, you'll know what questions I'm going to be asking. So then you'll just come ready for those answers. But commit to that, because my job, I can't help you. I can't help to know where you need coaching if I don't see where your numbers are. So that's kind of where that is. Okay, so this week's call to action. So if you have a notebook, you might want to write this down. I will also post this on the team page. And ignore the August and September, because this is actually, we want to do it for, you know, January and February. So work to book book your calendar to 8 shows a month for January and February. Another thing you can do is you can take a spiral notebook, and I've shown this to you guys before, or a few of you before. Take a spiral notebook and draw a line down the middle. So I'm going to show you here. You would draw a line down the middle to keep track of your contacts, and one side is old contacts, like maybe they've hosted a party, maybe they've oh, I should have written that backwards for you, because that's backwards for you guys now, right? Anyway, so one side is old contacts. They've hosted, they've shopped, they've done whatever. Another side is new contacts. This is new people that you're meeting when you're doing your out and about. When maybe you just met them at a show, maybe someone gave you a referral. But you want to be shooting for 50% of the names that you're calling on coming from this new column. So if you haven't met new people in a while, see where in the area you can set up a table and do a vendor event. And that's going to get you in front of new people. Okay, do a power hour on days that you don't have shows. And a power hour is, I try to do mine in 1-hour increments, but if you don't have that kind of time, do 15-minute increments throughout your day until you get to that 1 hour. So 15 minutes could be on your lunch break. You're going to take and text a few hosts, or you're going to make a phone call and, you know, follow up with someone about a order, a party, whatever. I typically try to sit down on Sunday nights and plan my week, because Sunday nights I don't do anything. So that's my time to let my husband know what's going on for the week, to get a handle on what I'm doing, to get all my stuff scheduled out. And so do a power hour. I try to do at least 2 or 3 a week, because you need to be constantly working on something. And then listen to, make it a full calendar. It's an audio, so if you're driving to work and you have any kind of commute, you can actually download it to your phone and listen to it there. Or, you know, stream it from here as well on your phone. Listen to it at the house when you're there, but usually I try to do it on my drive time, because then I'm not taking away time from my kids. But it's make it a full calendar. It's on Consultants Corner when you go under Pampered Chef University, courses, bookings, and then peer sharing resources. And again, I'll post all of this for you. That way you'll have it. Okay, so who's ready? You guys ready? Yay! Oh, you got your clapper over there? You got some clappers? Okay. It's gonna be a ton of fun. I mean, you guys probably aren't thinking, oh my gosh, this is fun. But let me tell you, when you start seeing the growth on your team, you get excited. And you're like, oh my God, I'm actually doing this. And then that's going to put that back in your mind. Look, I knew I could do this. And, you know, Bobby and I we say it all the time. We believe in you probably more than you see what you have in yourself. And that's something that is so, so true. Like, we know what your potential is, even if you're afraid to touch that potential. So we're going to be working on this journey together. We're going to be talking for 6 weeks to be able to build on our principles. And if, you know, at the end of it, you're like, you know what, I didn't promote to director, don't kick yourself, because, you know, we always want a goal. But if you're making strides every single day in your business and you're growing and you're learning, that's progress. So don't say I'm not doing, you know, the best I can. You're making progress, and that's all we can ever ask from you. Okay, so that is the end of all my training stuff. On here, there is a commitment form, so I want you guys to take time also to look at filling this out. This is going to help me, because it's going to, you know, when it says my director, you can put me down. Me and Bobby are in this together. It's going to go over your information. Who's going to be your supporter other than me? Why would you like to promote to director? How can I support you? And when you promote, what can we do to celebrate? So that is, I want you guys to fill that out. Take a picture of it and text it to me, or Facebook message it to me. That way I can print those out and have them here at the house, so that I can help cheer you on. Because my big thing is I want to be able to remind you, hey, Susie, when we started this in January, here's why you said you wanted to do this. You know, I'll hold your hand, but I might smack it. So our next call is going to be next Tuesday night at 8:30. My intent is for these calls to be no longer than 40 minutes. There's a ton of information. I talk fast. I'll try to leave time for Q&A. That way you guys can ask any questions that you might have, but I want to get as much of the information trained as possible in a group setting, and then we can always do one-on-one calls. You can call me in the morning, lunch hour, after work, you know, late at night. If you're a night owl, you're good. We can get on a schedule where we can talk weekly and see how things are doing for our check-in. Does anyone have any questions for me right now?
Oh, but I just got a text from someone saying they might want to be a consultant.
Look at that. You're already about to get a senior consultant promotion. Feel free to have her text me if you don't want it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, because you need some more.
I know, right? It's fine. But my goal, honestly, just so you guys know, when you first promote to director and you have your 5 people, you're going to feel like you're choking because you're like, I can't keep up with these requirements, right? Because it's hard. It might seem hard. I always say aim for 10. You can breathe when you have 10 consultants. And then you want to work to getting to a team of 20 and maintain that. So start with 5, jump that to 10, and then work on building from there. And then my personal goal is always to re-promote myself 3 times a year. Jake's getting old. He just heard someone and he's barking. Ignore him. So what that means is 3 times a year, I want to add 5 new team members at some point. So a 15 total for the year is always my personal goal. Because then I can re-promote myself. Because, you know, people's lives change and they might not need Pampered Chef after a year. And they might come back and say, you know what, now life's a little bit easier. Let me try this again. Or you might meet someone else who says, hey, this might be fun. Let's do it. And then 6 months from now, they're going to go, yeah, I don't want to do that. You're going to have that. That's ebbs and flows of the business. So there used to be an analogy where you have a bucket, right? So you're putting all your new people in your bucket, but you're so worried that they're leaving that you put your hand on the bottom of the bucket and the top of the bucket. So what's happening? You can't add new people because you're covering up your bucket trying to keep them all there, you know? So don't worry about them staying. Keep getting them in. If some fall out, that's okay. They can always come back. We want to work on getting them in and then me and you training them together. You guys good?
Sounds good.
All right.
Yes.
Love you guys. We'll be talking soon. I want to see how we're going to do a booking blitz next week. So I will, I'll be posting some booking ideas. So I'm excited. You know, you don't look so sad. It's going to be great. It's going to be a ton of fun. All right. I'll see you guys here next week.
Bye.
All right. Bye, guys. Bye.